Hey folks, welcome to the Mile 20 podcast where epic shit happens. I am Laura and I am here in person with my bestie,
Lorri.
Yay!
Me.
She is finally freaking back from her European escapades.
Whoop, whoop. I'm trying to get excited.
Yay!
I'm home.
She's like not even 24 hours home, so little tiny bit jet lagged, and trying to detox from all of the wine and the escapades in France.
I'm going through withdrawals.
A little withdrawal. Son of a bitch! Give me a drink.
Don't mind if I start sweating. It's okay.
Yeah. So today we're going to break the format a little bit. The past couple of episodes we've been talking about, the Marathon du Médoc and Camp Chateau. We interviewed Philippa Gerling and just some magnificent stuff we've talked about.
Yeah.
But this week, again, kind of breaking from the format, and we're going to talk, kind of wrapping it all up. Basically, we're going to speed date today, right? And kind of catch up because we really haven't talked since I left France.
Yeah, like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. And we've been texting on and off, but
Yeah.
just really have not caught up on what's going on in each other's life. So today is all about speed dating with Lorri and Laura.
Yes, because we haven't even had a short run together or anything, which is where this normally happens.
This is where this normally happens.
Yes.
So
So
imagine we're running. We're running.
Yeah.
We're running.
We're running.
Okay. All right. So do you have a drink for today, Laura?
I'm kind of hiding it because it's kind of ugly for YouTube, but in my lovely big take a hike bottle, Life is Good bottle, yeah, I've water.
Yeah, that's good because I'm still drinking water this week as well.
I did just pick up some Down East cider, which is I think kind of a northeastern PA type cider.
I haven't heard of that one.
Oh yes, you have. We had the pumpkin brand all last fall, and I happened to be at Wegmans, and I bought 2 4-packs, but I want more.
Is that the one that you had last year during tailgating?
Yes.
Oh, that was sweet. Yes, that stuff is delicious.
God, that stuff is so good.
It's like a little can of fall.
It is a pumpkin apple cider yumminess. Yeah.
Yes. No. So I'm drinking water as well today. Still going and focusing on regaining my base.
Yeah. I was pleased today because I'm probably only about a 4 to 5 pound weight.
That's difference for being over there for so
5
long.
Weeks?
Yeah.
It's not bad at all. I can't complain, but I definitely know that some of my muscle has shifted. So I'm sure that there's a weird balance in there. Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, it's seriously within 2 weeks of me being back, I feel like myself again. So which is great. So just a little focus and a lot of willpower.
Yeah, that didn't happen today because I saw some apple cider donuts and I'm full fall, baby. Full fall.
God. A guy at work told me about this place down in Newtown Square where they have apple cider donuts with ice cream in them. Oh. Like no shit. And I was like, dude, I totally couldn't eat that because of the lactose and the gluten, but good golly, that sounds awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love fall. Fall. And the weather's changing, the windows are opened, and yeah.
It is. It's still a little too warm. Today was nice here in Pennsylvania. It actually felt a little bit like fall, but it has been warm here,
Well, when we arrived yesterday, it was 80 degrees. I'm like, good God, why is it so hot here?
Well, it's supposed to be like that this weekend. And this weekend, all right, so before we kind of jump back into the past couple of weeks and what we've been up to, because I think we're going to talk about Bordeaux a little bit today as well, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of like little
and maybe the Dordogne a little bit. We spent
clip
some time
notes
there.
And I want to hear about your biking trip because you did a little bit of a trek biking trip. And but this weekend is kind of exciting because we have the Eagles versus the Broncos. Go Birds!
Go Birds!
We're 3-0 right now, which is super exciting.
Or 4-0.
Is it 4? Yeah, it's 4-0. Shit.
That's okay.
Yep. 4-0. My God, 4-0. But we're playing against the Broncos, which your husband and your son are avid fans of.
We are a house divided.
Yes.
My husband has been a Broncos fan since John Elway.
Yeah.
He's a big John Elway fan, and he groomed my son to also be a Broncos fan. And with that, I do believe that his girlfriend Mari supports him in that endeavor. But I have the girls. Both girls are Eagles fans. So at least,
There's a little bit of balance.
There's a little bit of balance, yeah.
Yes.
But yes, so this game happens once every
couple of years. Yeah.
6,
Yeah.
like 5 or 6.
Has it been that long?
Because they rotate amongst the AFC teams, the divisions. So I don't remember how many divisions are in the AFC.
Well, I know Jim and I went out to Denver a couple of years ago, so maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, because we actually went to Mile High and saw the Eagles play in Denver. That was really cool being at that stadium.
Yeah, I think that so Dave and DJ have been traveling around. Their goal, kind of like us with the 50 states, is that they want to see the Denver Broncos play in every stadium in the country. And I think that I'm hoping, crossing their fingers, they're saving the last stadium will be Mile High, and I'm hoping it's against the Eagles when it finally happens, because I want to go to that. I think it would be fun.
Yeah, that would be. I tell you what, the Eagles fans showed up like big time. So
well, we always do. It was a little fun watching the Tampa Bay game.
Yes,
even though it was on my little computer because I was streaming it from France, but listening to the crowd, I'm like, holy shit! Like you could hear the EAG.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
You could hear all the cheering. I'm like, damn, that is almost like a home game.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. We show up strong. So we're doing that. And then we are going on Saturday night to see I'm going to say like a theater showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
And this is where people dress up in costumes. Maddie and I are dressing up in costumes.
Oh, are you?
Oh, yes, we are.
Oh, yeah. I'm not prepared for that.
Oh, yes. Yes, we are dressing up.
Are you dressing up,
costumes.
Maggie?
I'm not prepared for that at all.
Yes. I am not. I have a fucking wig.
I just arrived, Laura. This is a lot to be throwing at me. I just arrived.
It's okay. But I'm dressing up, so I'm gonna have fun with it.
Who are you dressing up as?
I'm dressing up as and I can't remember her name now that you just asked me, but she's the one with the big orange hair and the French maid costume, the French maid outfit.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, and Maddie's dressing up as the character, the woman with the top hat and the bow tie and the sparkly jacket. So yeah,
I don't know who that is either. It's been years since I've seen a Rocky. I was a teenager, actually. If we go really deep, I was a teenager the last time I went to see Rocky Horror.
Yeah, no, it's been a hot minute, and I think Maggie has never seen it before, and I don't know if Maddie's actually seen it before. So yeah, so it should be a fun time. We're going to the Colonial Theater.
We need to let them know that it is not a quality movie. It's like watching The Blob.
It's maybe a little more dialogue than The Blob.
Yeah, it's a cult. Yes. It's a cult classic.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
So we'll have some fun stuff to share next week. But it'll be a really, really fun weekend. And then my sister's 50th birthday is on Monday, so super excited about
you got a lot
about celebrating
this
that
weekend.
Absolutely. All right, so Laura, maybe we start where we kind of left off after we left Camp Chateau.
Yeah.
Right. And so we stayed in the Dordogne River Valley, and in a little town called Montfort.
Yes.
And
just south of a little town called Sarlat, which is kind of, I guess, if you're wanting to tour this area, is a great little home base. It's kind of the biggest small medieval town in that area.
Yeah, and we ended up both renting, like you rented a VRBO or Airbnb, whatever. I rented one like right around the corner. It was like a 5-minute walk, if that. It was a stone's throw away from. So the fact that like I could find a house very, very close by. And so that was nice. We had a lot of dinners and back and forth between the houses. Yeah. But the day that I loved, we actually did a kayak canoe ride down the river.
Yeah, it was really cool. We started at this. I'm going to slaughter all these pronunciations. So I'm going to slaughter all these pronunciations. I can't even speak English right now, let alone French. But we started in a little town called Carsac and went all the way down to Baynac, which I think that my Strava said was like 16 miles of river.
Yeah.
So we did like a full day river tour on a canoe. but it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was spectacular. And every couple of miles, you hit another town that had a just magnificent chateau, just really overlooking the water. And, you know, some of these towns were actually built into the rock face, you know, that lined the river.
Yes.
It's just absolutely magnificent. We
Yes.
stopped at one for lunch.
We stopped at Lorri Gagnac. I don't know.
Yes.
Something like that. Something to note if you decide you do want to go into the Dordogne Valley and you want to tour and things. It has kind of a unique dining situation going on there, which it kind of kicked our asses twice. So they have breakfast, and breakfast kind of molds into lunch a little bit. But at any time between 1:30 and like 7 o'clock, it is a barren zone for eating. You might be able to go into a boulangerie and find a sandwich or into a sandwich shop, but there is no restaurant service in that area for food.
Yes.
And 1:30 is a little early, you think, but usually anywhere between 1:30 and 2:30, they stop selling lunch.
Stop. Yes.
And you have to be prepared for that. And then they don't start dinner again until 7.
Yes.
Because the night that we arrived, or the afternoon that we arrived, the little town we were staying at, we didn't have a car yet.
Nope.
Because Dave and Maggie.
We took an Uber or a car service.
Yeah, we took a car service from camp to Montfort. And then Dave and Maggie and Connor were driving down from Paris, so they hadn't arrived yet. And so we arrive, I guess it's like around noon, 12:30, and we're like, we're starving, and there's one restaurant in town, and that's it. It was closed entirely. It's closed on Sundays and Mondays, which is another thing to know. A lot of things are closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Yes.
And so we called it our foraging.
Yes. We walked a lot of miles that day looking for a place that was open on some pretty dangerous roads. And how many places did we try to stop at? Maybe like 3 or 4 before we found the market?
Yeah, we found this supermarket, and we're like, okay, so we're going to forage in a supermarket and come up with some meats and cheeses. And chocolate. And I found bread and fruit, and we bought a bottle of wine because we're like, fuck this shit. Let's drink some wine.
Yep.
And we found a lovely little park in Karsakea.
Yes.
Whatever you used to call it. And had a lovely little picnic.
We did.
Late lunch.
We did. And then we started walking back, and it started pouring rain on us. So it was quite comical.
It was an adventure.
It was an adventure. It was core memory, man.
I mean, like, what do you do? It just is what it is.
Best bottle of wine I drank, though.
Hell yeah. And what was cool is, like, we're walking, and all of a sudden we heard this noise, and we kind of hear, bah! And we're like, what the hell is that? And we look up on the cliff, and there's just a random goat.
It was beautiful, too. It was brown and gray and black. And and it was just watching us, and kind of a little annoyed that I think we were in its space.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell are you doing? Usually it's just cars, and you're walking on this road.
Yeah. The other thing that I enjoyed was as we were going down the river, they actually had wild fig trees like all along the riverbank.
Yeah.
So we actually stopped at some point in time. I was showing Dave what a fig tree looked like, and we were trying to go and pick some ripe ones off of the tree. So that was just kind of cool. And, and they don't spray stuff there, so it's just
to circle back to complete the whole food thing. Yeah. We also got off the canoes at like 2:00 in that Gagiac, whatever the hell the name of it is. Anyhow, we got off there to try it. We thought it'd be nice to find a nice place to have a lovely lunch. And there was nothing open there. It was like 2:30. So, anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep in mind. Yes. So I know that you and Maggie and Connor got a chance while we were still in that area, because I had to work for a couple of days, but you ventured out to a couple of different spots. I know we hit one chateau that was open to the public that I was able to tour with you and the family before my family came, and that one was a little odd.
Chateau de Puy Martin. I think is the name of it. And yeah, so it started out super cool.
Totally cool.
Beautiful chateau. You look at
the
it.
family still lives in a portion of the chateau, but they have it open to the public.
Yes.
To like keep it in operation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like the first
two floors
were like normal, kind of set up like a chateau, and you can see like the antique furniture and like this is the kitchen, this was the dining, the great hall, and you're like, okay, this is cool. And then you start getting up into the bedroom area, and then it was kind of like, I don't know what the hell is going on.
It was
here.
like a bed with like, I don't know, about like 2 feet worth of moss like on top of the bed, and all these like weird lights on the ceiling, and all these animals and animal noises in the room, and it looked like a forest scene.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, this is weird.
But I'm like, maybe it's just getting a little artsy. It's kind of odd, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go up again.
And then it just kept getting weirder from there.
Yeah, I think that there was like, they were talking about the white woman that there's like essentially
chateau, like
a ghost that shows up occasionally. And supposedly there was a woman that had been, the
guy's wife.
The guy's wife
was like locked in the tower.
But wasn't she being like committing adultery or something and got caught, and he like bricked her up in a wall.
Yeah, bricked her up. Yeah.
In a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think alive.
Yeah.
And so there's a room that nobody touches, and that's supposedly where she is. I don't know. It got weird. Yeah, it just got really weird.
But it was really neat to be in another chateau and get a feel for, just how different it was actually from Camp Chateau,
right?
From the Bedway Chateau. So I appreciated going and seeing that, even though it got a little weird. So.
Yeah. So I had a lot of people ask, like, why would you go to this area of France? Mm-hmm. And for us, like Dave and I are off the beaten path kind of travel people, and for us, we were just kind of looking for some place to decompress, but had really cool things nearby. And I think the Dordogne Valley is really well known. I mean, you're 2.5 hours from Bordeaux. So you're close enough for a nice weekend there if you want to go in. But the whole valley is lined with really cool old medieval towns, some of them fortified, some of them not, old chateaus, old castles, medieval castles. You're also really close to like the prehistoric, I think it's called Vallée de Vizère. There's a river there that like Lascaux, which is, if anybody who took anthropology or, sociology, and they talk about prehistory man, they're famous cave paintings, and they are all located within 30 minutes of this area. So it just was kind of a really cool place to settle in and be able to see all these cool places that were nearby.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff in the rock, like a lot of prehistoric things, medieval, not quite so much Renaissance, I'd say.
Yeah, and it was nice to see that the towns were very, very well preserved. I mean, that area of France was in like the free zone during World War II.
Yeah.
So it really didn't experience some of like the bombings and, the destruction that the northern part of the country, more middle part of the country had experienced.
Yeah.
So it was really, really nice to appreciate just one medieval town after another,
Yes.
and it's just so different than how we live here in the States. And, people are actively living in these buildings that were, they're built in like some of the 800s,
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's crazy.
But
Absolutely
it
crazy.
did not get hurt in World War II. But it was affected by the French Revolution. Like, there's a lot of defacing, especially of the churches.
Yeah.
Were stripped and damaged from a lot of things from that time.
But definitely not helicopters, but planes and bombs and stuff like that.
No, not the heavy artillery stuff.
Not to the degree of World War II, but yes, a lot of defacing and so forth. So like after we left that area, that's when we in our last episode with Maddie and Maggie, we talked about going into Bordeaux and into Pouliac. I was surprised by Bordeaux. I don't know. Like I've seen pictures of, aspects of the city.
Yeah.
It was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it definitely felt metropolitan, but also quaint. I don't know how it did that,
Yeah, and it also felt very real. Like I think a lot of times when you're in Paris, Paris is like a New York. So, of course, there's a lot of people that live there and work there and all of that. But you also get stuck in these touristy areas.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was kind of touristy, but it also just felt more real. Like there's a university there. It was very young. I felt like
there's
there was
a lot of young people.
Yeah,
Yes.
which I think is great because that's like your lifeblood, right? So it was, it had a really nice vibe to it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And, I know we spent the day after the marathon, we spent kind of like the day exploring, like as a group, and that was a lot of fun. We got to see, the original wall, right, of the city and the port. And then the huge clock in part of like the medieval part of the city. That was magnificent.
It was beautiful. Yeah. Those gates too, the old gates, they look like Cinderella's castle.
It does.
Like
it does.
It's very conical type spires and stuff. And
I mean, it's meant to like, when back in the day, somebody would come into the city, it would be like, okay, this is a rich town, it's, to be revered. And I know that each town that had walls like that, and they put a lot of effort into like making sure their shit looked really like snazzy. So
and it did look snazzy.
It did. It still does.
Yeah, it looks great. Like, Bordeaux is a town that I feel like I could go back and easily spend more time in, and I think it's such a great place to visit too, because they now have the high speed train. It's 2 hours on a high speed train from Paris to Bordeaux.
Yeah, so
you can get down there very easily. It's easily walkable. Like a lot of the sites were super nearby, very walkable. And it's just clean, nice. You're in the heart of some of the most magnificent wine on the planet. And I'm saying that now with 100% surety.
Oh, I totally agree.
I feel like I went into France a huge Italian wine fan. And now I'm so sorry, Italy. You still hold my heart in food. And I love the Roman Empire, but my God, French wine. Forget about it.
It's interesting. Jim and I had a conversation about that, about whether or not we have a preference for the Tuscan wines versus the French. I tell you what, the French wines surprised me.
Yeah.
I always liked like a good Bordeaux. I was like, oh, I love a good Bordeaux. But now I know what that means, being in that region and having, like you said, the last episode, like we had like the best wine tour of like 23 different chateaus serving their wares, which was magnificent.
And I have to say, you would think they're just handing out free wine, right? Which, I don't know. You think maybe we're not getting the best stock, Maybe, I don't know what they were giving us.
I don't think that they have bad stock.
I don't think
Although
they do.
I think there was 1 or 2 wines where I was like, that was like a little drier than everything else. Like there was one that
I feel like we were getting picky at that point.
Well, yeah, maybe,
Like you're drinking fabulous wine after fabulous wine, and then you have one that's just good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was just a good wine. Not fabulous.
I was like, oh, it tastes a little earthy. I got a little,
get a little spoiled there after a while.
I know. It actually inspired me. I was like, I think someday I want to go and get like certified as a sommelier, just to like be able to, kind of pick out the elements of the wines and kind of get a little bit more sophisticated with it.
Dave said the exact same thing. He's like, I want to be a level 1 sommelier.
Yeah.
I don't think I need more than that. I would just like to be able to be not more knowledge,able than the
totally
average
agree.
Joe.
Yeah, that's so funny that he said that to you, because I totally felt that way. It's more that analytical portion of the wine and the art that goes into it as well. Well, at least we know like the what the special ingredient is, like the guys peeing on the grapes, from the marathon. So
oh boy,
special ingredient. All right, so after we left Bordeaux. I flew out with Jim. I know Maddie and her friend Kelsey stayed in Bordeaux for another couple of days, and they did some really fun things. But you ended up going back right to the house that you guys rented.
Yeah.
So now I'm stateside now. So now we split, right?
Yeah. And I had Maggie and Connor were with us until like the Wednesday after that weekend. So we just explored the area. Went to some of the beautiful little towns like Dome, which is gorgeous. It's up on a hilltop, and just medieval and so cute.
Yeah.
And has actually, like, in the center of town, they have a cave that you can go down in. They have tours.
Oh, neat.
But not a prehistoric cave drawing cave, just like stalactites, stalagmites. And it's insane because the town is above you. And there's this fabulous cave right underneath the town. It's kind of scary and alarming, but beautiful at the same time.
That's wild.
I think Maggie wishes she was a little mic'd up. What do you have to say, Mags?
And the Cliff House.
Oh, and the Cliff House. The tours are only in French. So you have no idea. The guy giving the tour is so into it. And I'm like, man, I wish I could understand what he's saying because he looks like a fabulous tour guide. But they give us English-speaking placards, right? So we're reading from this thing, and I didn't have my glasses, and it's dark in there. I'm like,
You're like, I'm screwed. All
I'm
right,
like,
whatever.
Maggie, read this to me. And so she starts reading, and she was talking about the boys who discovered it, and they were on the Cliff House, and they discovered this hole, and I'm like, Cliff House? Cliff House? You mean like cliff face? And she's like, but how many F's are in Cliff Face? That's 3 F's. There are 2 F's here. It's Cliff House. Like, no, babe, that's Cliff Face.
That's awesome. I will use that forever, ever,
Cliff-os.
ever. Look at the Cliff-os, Maggie.
Yes, forever. Yeah, so, I don't know. We just had such a wonderful time exploring that area. And then on the Friday, after Maggie left, Dave and I drove down to Girona, Spain.
You had a couple of really cool pictures that you sent. You did not send enough pictures, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I
It's
should
okay.
have invited you to the Second Phase album.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we went down to Girona, Spain. So that was like a 5.5 hour drive.
Okay. How was the drive down there?
We stopped
Good.
in Carcassonne,
Okay.
which is freaking spectacular.
I remember you were talking about wanting to do that.
I mean, a perfectly preserved medieval city with the wall, the whole thing.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
and as you're pulling into the town, it's just so imposing. It's on a little hillside, and it's just... I'm getting chills just think of it. It's just really cool. It's
That's awesome.
touristy, but it's super cool.
But totally worth going and seeing that.
100%
Good.
worth seeing.
Good.
Yeah, and I think you only need like a half a day there.
Okay.
Maybe. You don't have to spend a whole day there. But we felt like we saw most of it and were able to check that off. Got back in the car and drove to Girona. Had a lovely little... Did not know what Girona really was because we're doing a trek. Meaning, when I say Trek travel trip, it's Trek that...
TREK.
Yeah, that brand of bikes has travel trips on their bikes with guides and everything. And some of my cycling ladies had signed up and wanted to do this Costa Brava trip, which started out of Girona. Had no idea the amount of pro cyclists that live in Girona. Girona is a bike town.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yes. Like we went to a coffee shop that was owned by a former pro cyclist, and it was like all cycling themed things. I've seen the most beautiful cycling shops in the world.
Oh, wow.
Like with cycling gear. It was like a coffee shop, and it was like cycling gear, and there were frescoes on the wall. And of course, like everything was ridiculously expensive. I didn't buy anything there, but it was just really cool, I guess, because it's so close to the Pyrenees.
Oh.
And so you have like all these really cool options for rides. And because they have this pro culture there now, it's like attracting more and more cyclists.
Okay.
Anyway,
Interesting.
It was super cool. Between that and it was also a setting for Game of Thrones. I think that was season 4 when
Which episodes were?
when Arya is with the faceless man and goes blind.
Oh, really?
Some of those
it was
scenes.
filmed there. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
And
interesting.
then one of the high sept scenes where Jaime Lannister's on the steps on the horse.
Yeah.
That was also filmed at one of the churches, the big church in
all right.
Girona.
I'll have
on
to go
those
back and
steps.
take a look at those
Yes.
those stills.
Yeah. So it was cool. Girona's a cool little town. Again, you could probably do that in like a day. You
Yeah.
don't have to do an extensive tour there. But I met up with our group, and man, does Trek Travel put on a hell of a trip. Oh my goodness. So I was following along because my friend Barb and Deneen works for Trek Travel, and they have done Trek Travel trips together. Was their third trip. And
because didn't Barb do one to Portugal? Because she gave me a lot of tips before we went to Portugal this year. Like, oh, I'd recommend this and this and this.
Yes.
So I remember she was biking there.
Portugal was their first one, and then they did one in Puglia, Italy, southern Italy, and
nice.
They loved both of those. And then this one, and unfortunately, Barb hurt herself, so she wasn't able to ride, but she still came and had a great time. But the accommodations are fabulous. The hotels were amazing.
What, you didn't stay at like a place we did for the...
No. No, these were, it was Mas de Torrent Hotel and Spa, and it was probably one of the prettiest spas I've ever seen.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It was in a
that.
separate building and uber modern, but just gorgeous.
I have to interrupt you really quick because with the last episode, after I actually listened back to our episode, and I will totally admit, I am a complete and total hotel snob.
Well,
and you know what?
Well, we know this about you, Laura. It's okay.
And I am not ashamed of that.
No,
I am not ashamed
know.
of that at all. So I was like, wow, I came across like really hating on that place, but I really hated that place. And
I know.
So I'm glad that you got a chance to go and stay at like a really bougie place. I remember one night you were like, we're eating at like a Michelin star like restaurant.
Oh no, we did 3 Michelin star restaurants.
Awesome.
That was included in this trip.
That's fantastic.
I mean, 3. I had the most fabulous food. It was amazing. It really was. Our second place we stayed was at this hostel. It says hostel, but it was a hotel.
Yeah.
Hostel de la Gavinia. It was like an old... like a historic, you know me and my historic old hotels. Like Elizabeth Taylor stayed there.
Nice.
Like there were a few things that were filmed in the area, and they had like some of that crew that had stayed there in the past. And I don't know how Jill and I did this, but holy shit, did we probably get one of the best rooms in the place. We walk into our room, and we have a beautiful balcony, and it's just nothing but ocean.
Oh, that's fabulous.
I mean, it was gorgeous. It was just gorgeous.
But the cycling, you cycled for how many days?
We cycled 4 days.
Okay. How'd your ass feel?
We had a rest day. It's terrible.
Yeah.
My ass hurt.
Yeah. I know.
Real bad.
I felt for you.
However, yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, it was bad. I was ill prepared for that trip, period. It was so Trek Travel has different levels of trips. There's a level 1, which obviously is easier, level 2, level 3. Within each level, so this was a level 2/3.
Okay.
They have sometimes shorter options, the normal ride, and then an Avid option for the crazy people like my friend Jill.
So
She's always going to choose Avid. I did not do Avid.
Okay, got it.
I did not do any of the Avid because I was just suffering along.
Got it. Okay.
On the normal one.
Okay.
Because the first day we did
I thought you said 30, 40 miles or something like that.
I think the first day was 41 miles, and we did 2,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah, that's a lot of ass time, and that's a lot.
And
that's a lot.
We had this enormous climb that went up to 18% grade for a short period of time, and it was real. It was a tough ride.
Yeah.
The first few days were tough. But it was wonderful. It was just so wonderful. It was worth it.
That's why they balanced it with the nice restaurants and food.
They balanced it with that. We were also staying at a spa.
Yeah.
So they had whirlpools and all this stuff, hot and warm pools.
Oh,
and
nice.
All
That's
of
wonderful.
That stuff. Yes. But they also one day we rode to a winery, and then they were like, if you want to stop here, we can give you a cab back, because we were drinking wine and sampling wine, and it was wonderful wine. And the 4 of us were like, yeah, we're going to opt out. So we only did half a day. One day, the day off, we went on this beautiful, old 1903 cargo ship.
Okay.
And we went out, and they anchored out, and we had lunch and swam and
I love that.
in the water and just relaxed, so that was a really great day.
Yeah.
And then the last day was probably my favorite cycling day, and it was tough, and I was scared because it was an out and back 16, so it was 32 miles, 16 miles out, 16 miles back, but it was 1,000 feet of elevation that day.
Oh, wow.
And but it was right along the coast. And they say it's like the most beautiful piece. It was like the Big Sur.
Yes.
It was like the Big Sur Marathon.
Yes.
I was cycling that.
I think that was the day that you sent a video.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, I did do my little clip about us not having an episode because I was on a bike.
Yes,
that
was it was a little hard to go and do the coordination on that. And I'm glad we took a little bit of a break just with that, just so that way you could stay immersed in the space that you were in and get to kind of eat that all up and stuff. So that it sounds absolutely wonderful. So you'd recommend, like, for people, like, if you're a cyclist,
100%.
Going and joining something. How many people total were in the overall group, Lorri?
Our group was booked out at 20.
Oh, so 20 people. So that's max.
But we had 3 guides with 20 people. Okay. So and everybody kind of broke off in their own thing. And they do offer e-bike tours. Okay. Because I was looking, like, their Andalusia tour, I think, is like a level 3/4. And I'm like, God, I would love to do that, but I don't know if I would ever be in that shape. Yeah. They have e-bikes.
Oh, so I love me a good e-bike.
Yeah. So, like, it makes it a lot easier. Do you remember
doing the e-bikes when we were in Rome?
Yes.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
We'll talk about that in probably another bunch of episodes.
But I don't want to drone on too much about everything that we did on this trip.
Yeah.
I'll just touch on a few more highlights after Trek Travel. I met Dave in Arles, which was cool because there's an old Roman amphitheater there, and we had an Airbnb that overlooked it.
Oh,
so
nice.
It was beautiful.
Nice.
We went into Nîmes. Dave saw that they were having a bullfight.
Oh, I loved your pictures from that.
Well, when we were watching Rick Steves, and I know that ages us a lot, but Rick Steves is a really fabulous, even to this day, even though it's a little outdated, he's a really good tour person to look for information about traveling to Europe.
A lot of good details.
Yeah, a lot of great details. So I was watching, and they're like, oh, they still have bullfighting there, but they tie a ribbon onto their forehead, and matadors, their whole goal is to pull the ribbon off, and that there's certain points that they could get, and blah, blah, blah. And so Dave's like, there's a bullfight. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then we get there, and we sit down, and we're sitting down to these lovely people. Oh, my God, the French people were wonderful. And one of them spoke English, and they were like, said something to me, and I'm like, what? And she's like, you're okay? You're going to be okay when they kill the bull. And I'm like, kill the bull? I thought they have like a ribbon. And she's like, oh, no. Twice a year we have real bullfights.
So this is a real bullfight?
This is a real bullfight. And not only is there a bull, there's going to be 6 bulls.
Oh, wow.
6 different fights with 6 different matadors. So 6 bulls being slaughtered. And anyway, so we were like, okay, well, we're here.
Yeah.
It's like we've already paid. It's already happening. Whether we leave now or not, it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
So, and it's a cultural thing, and it's something that they do, and they use the bull. They eat the meat. I guess the meat's very expensive because obviously the bull probably has a lot of adrenaline in its meat. Yeah. And I'm sure that flavors it somehow. But I would say that there's 3 phases to bullfighting. The first one is kind of like a dance with the bull with a cape, and, he's charging and stuff. And then they start a little bit of music, and they bring out 2 people on horses. And there's 2 phases to that where they start stabbing it. And then they have these things that they poke in its back they start weakening the bull. Okay. I did not like phase 2 at all. I wish they would just go straight to phase 3, which is where they eventually... Wow. They dance with the bull again after the bull is weakened. And then the matador, if he's good, puts his sword directly into his back, and the bull should drop shortly after that. Okay. What was the success rate of the 6 of them that happened? Well, we didn't stay for all 6. Okay. I was thinking we were only going to stay for 2. We stayed for 4. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. You do desensitize after the first few. I watched a bull almost take down a horse. That freaked me out. Wow. I was about to leave after that. That was the second one. But the horse got back up and was fine, and everybody cheered. There was a poor little girl in front of me crying over the horse. I'm like, this is horrible. Why would people do this? But whatever. Yeah. If the matador was good, the bull dropped quickly. That was for 3 of them. One of them, the bull did not want to go down, and it took multiple multiple times for that bull to go down.
Yeah.
But they honored the bull afterwards because they always drag the bull. Obviously, if they drag with the horses, the bull out of the arena. They actually, because the bull,
they paraded the bull around.
They paraded the bull around because, and people were actually asking for them to let the bull live. Like, I guess they can whistle, and that means like let it live. But at that point, I think it was too far gone anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it was going to die eventually, and they were trying to make it faster. But they did parade the bull around because it gave such a tough fight. I'm like, I'm ready to leave now.
cultural, unique experience.
Yeah, it is. So that was probably, I would say, a highlight. But then
very memorable.
Yeah, very memorable. And then Nîmes was having like their annual fête. Remember how they were saying that every town has a fête?
Yes.
We were there for Nîmes.
So fêtes are like, it's basically the way I like equated it. It's like, it's like a weekend block party where the whole town is out and just eating and drinking and celebrating the fact that they are a town.
Yes.
They're celebrating themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Nîmes was in the middle of that. And it was off the chains crazy. Like, if I was in my 20-somethings, I would be looking to be doing these types of fetes all over Europe.
Oh, my God. That's so awesome.
It was
I
crazy.
Love that.
They had, like, outdoor clubs going while we were there. I'm like, man, if I was only 30 years younger, I'd be like,
I love that.
But they had kids. It was kids. There was old people. It wasn't like it was all young people. It was just...
But it's neat because we heard Philippa talk about that in Bedway and how she was like cooking, the sausages in like the town tavern, for the townspeople and stuff. And so to hear like what that was like and then to what you experienced, I guess there's a couple of different levels of fetes.
Well, that, and it was a bigger town.
This is like the fete of fetes, right?
It was just, it was big.
Yeah.
And then another highlight I would say was we went to Avignon. Had no idea that the Catholic Church in the 1100s was actually in, like, the main papacy was in Avignon for about 70 years. So they have a papal palace there.
That's awesome.
That was cool. Pont du Gard we went to, which was outside of town. We hit that right at sunset. Yeah. It's a huge, one of the biggest and a protected, I think it's a UNESCO heritage site, aqueduct. It's three tiers high of arches.
Wow. 3 tiers, wow.
And it is over this huge river and stuff, and it is just magnificent.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we hit it right at sunset with the golden hour on it.
I love that. I love that. So like with all the travel that I've done in Europe, the first time I ever saw an aqueduct was when Jim and I were in Portugal recently this past summer. Yes, first time I've ever seen an aqueduct. Like a huge aqueduct.
Yeah.
You've seen like little bits and pieces of them, but not one that's like still intact.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Ours did not have a nice sunset with it, but that's
just time of day.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about it. And I'm like, oh shit, Dave, we wanted to hit that. We wound up getting back to the Airbnb at like 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Because we had a 6-hour drive after that, but it was 100%
totally worth it.
Worth
it, right?
Yeah. And we were practically by ourselves.
Yeah.
Which felt weird too. I'm like, why aren't there more people here?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I
guess
that.
shoulder season,
I love that.
So I don't want to, I could go on and on and on for probably about a week.
Though.
I could.
But I think it's evidence that you accomplished what your goal was.
Yes.
You wanted to immerse yourself into the space. You wanted to, just reconnect with Dave, right? Like, with that, all of us who are married or have significant others, there are periods in your life where you're just busy and you don't get that connection the way you want to. So I love it that you guys had that opportunity to do that.
Moon.
Right.
I'm starting that as a word. It should be a thing.
Yeah.
The Nestor moon.
Yeah. Empty nesters. Yeah. No, super, 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 important. And I mean, you could just tell, like, like you're a junkie when it comes to, just all these like unique, especially the heritage points. And I think that you picked a really excellent area to kind of like marry up what you and Dave wanted to accomplish, but then also, just learning more about the country and the people and obviously their customs,
Yeah. Well,
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And it's funny because I feel like going into it, I'm more of an Italian food person, and I was very skeptical about the food. We were in a very heavy foie gras area, and if you know what foie gras is, it's like duck liver or goose liver, depending on which one you decide to go with. And it's like a pate. You know, they fatten up their livers and then they make a pate out of it. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound good, you know. And I know escargot and rich foods, but man, the food was fabulous.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go. And I like foie gras. Who'd have known?
That's awesome.
I had no idea
That's
I would like
awesome.
foie gras. Yeah.
But it's great that you tried it and experimented, and you know, when I guess not when in Rome, but when in France, you know, that's what you're there for, to go and immerse as much as possible. And so the one thing I will say is having celiac. And just so I was there for like 20 days between, you know, what we were in like 4 different areas. As I got further away from Paris, and obviously camp just totally catered to food allergies. But as soon as I got into like the southern France area, became very, very difficult as someone with celiac. So not even in the restaurants, but then also when we went foraging that one day for food.
Yeah.
I was like, they don't even have like gluten-free crackers, you know, and you know, I like reading the labels on things, and so that was very, very difficult. Once we got into Bordeaux, I had a little bit of a better success rate. We actually found a vegan slash gluten-free bakery that was absolutely to die for. I had a chocolate scone that I haven't had a scone in years, and it was off the charts. So there were like little bits and pieces, but if you do have a food, for those listening, if you do have celiac, just be planful. Because I think there was one night where, you know, I was just trying to go with the flow, and it was like the night before the marathon, and I wasn't able to go and get like the food that I probably needed to fuel like the night before as well. That was on me, you know, but you just have to be very, very planful in terms. You can't just go and say, oh, let's just randomly pick a restaurant, because chances are like 9 out of 10, you will not find an extensive menu.
The caprese salad.
Caprese salad, or probably steak and frites if the frites, you know, don't have gluten.
Yeah.
So that would be my only caveat. But I love it that you did not have those limitations and you were able to go and immerse.
Yeah. And I have to say too, I was very surprised just by how lovely the French people were too. Yeah. There was just one person, and you know this story. You want to tell it?
We showed up for an appointment late. We thought our appointment was at 1:30, and it was to go do this cave tour.
Font de Gaume.
Yes. And so the tickets said for 1:30, but what we didn't realize on the tickets is that it said to show up 30 minutes before your tour started.
Yeah.
We showed up at, I think, 1:32 or 32. And this woman behind the counter was like, "You're late. You're late.
You are so late.
You are so late.
You are so late."
No, and wouldn't give us a refund on the tickets, like wouldn't let us like try to find our guide. It was just like, no soup for you.
Yeah. We were shot down very
And then
quickly.
they started like very quickly, her and another woman talking to each other in French. And we knew that they were talking about us. But you know what they have now?
What?
They have these new AirPods.
Oh,
that you can go and have an option where it will translate what people are saying when you have the buds in your ears. Wish I had those when I went over to France, because I probably would have said something to that woman in English.
Yeah.
But
and what was crazy about that is we went to a similar place that was part of all of these monuments. There are 4 major monuments. Dave and I got tickets to another one that they were so welcoming, and we're running a little bit late, and it was still like the 30 minutes, like you need to be here 30 minutes beforehand, and it was such a different experience. I'm like, no, she was just nasty.
Yeah, no, she was just
nasty.
She totally and completely was nasty.
Yeah. She could have walked us back.
No, she totally could've.
There was like 3 or 4 people standing behind the desk.
Yeah.
Somebody could have walked us back. They just left.
Yeah, but I mean, my experience years and years and years ago was not a positive experience with some people in France. This go around, I'm like, absolutely no issues, other than this one woman. So
last story.
Yes.
25 years ago, I tried to go to see Jim Morrison's grave. He's in Paris at Père Lachaise cemetery. I went to the wrong cemetery. And I've been to Paris a couple times, and we've taken different people, and it always seems like I can't quite make it to see Jim Morrison's grave. Yesterday before we left, I'm like, Dave, it's a 2-mile run there and a 2-mile run back, and I need some miles. I'm going to see Jim Morrison. So I ran up to Jim Morrison's grave. Well, it turns out not only is Jim Morrison there, but so is Oscar Wilde and Frédéric Chopin. And I think there's just a lot of people there. But those are the 3 big ones that I went and saw. While I was looking for Chopin, I'd already seen the other 2. This lovely older French gentleman, I don't know where he came from. I was like a grave or 2 from Chopin, and he went, Frédéric Chopin, and he points at it. And I'm like, oh, merci beaucoup. And then he comes walking over to me, and he goes, you know, I'm not going to do the accent. He's like, you know, he's buried in 2 places. He's from Poland. He actually wasn't French. He was from Poland. His body is here. His heart is back in Poland. And then he takes me to another grave, like just a lovely, like this adorable old man. And he's like talking to me, wanting to give me a tour around this cemetery, this lovely old French man. And I'm like, the people here have been top notch.
That's awesome.
Just people translating stuff for us. When we were at the bullfight, people talking to us about what was going on culturally, like within the stadium and like what we were looking at. I mean, it just top to bottom. No, French people is perfection.
Well, and I think it's also the vibe that you give off too, because we saw a really, really nasty American woman when we were waiting to go on the Seine, on the Champagne tour. And this young girl, she was with maybe her husband or her boyfriend, and she had to get like in the front of the line, but yet the boat company wasn't ready for them to be like where they were located. So the one guide, she asked them to step back, and like the girl like completely like snapped at the French woman, and it was like, that is why we get a bad rap,
right? You know, and they had already asked them to step back like 3 times,
multiple times, and she like totally blew them off. So, but it's the vibe that you give off too, right? You know, like you and Dave are there appreciating things. And, you know, people get your vibe, you know, and if you're not rude to people and you're nice and you just, you know, you're there to appreciate, you know, how they live on a day to day. You know, I think that makes a difference.
Yeah, so I agree.
So, well, I'm so glad that you guys had an awesome trip. My update is not going to be as extensive, and I'm glad we did the upside of our talk. You know, unfortunately, when I got back, you know, we found out that my mother-in-law had taken a little bit of a health turn, and, you know, she had been struggling for probably good, like, you know, a decade plus, you know, with just varying health issues. And so unfortunately she was very quickly put into hospice. Yeah. And so I got back, what was it? I got back on a Monday from France, and then that following weekend, me and my daughter and my son-in-law went out to Wisconsin to be able to see her. Yeah. And Jim had already gone out, so he was out there. So like Jim literally landed on Monday and he flew out Tuesday morning. Yeah. So it was kind of a crazy turnaround, but I feel absolutely blessed that I was able to see her and share thoughts with her and give her my unconditional love.
And she was still very much with it.
She totally with it.
Yeah.
Totally with it. And so she unfortunately passed away. We were actually at the Eagles game, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. So I think that's why I blocked out the 3 wins, because I think I blocked out that whole game.
Understandably.
But we were at the big boy, you know, touchdown.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, 2 plays left before the end of the game where the Rams were coming down and ready to, you know, to do their field goal. And Jim just looked at me, and he's like, he had looked at his phone, and he's like, we have to go. And I just knew. I knew that he had gotten a voicemail from probably his dad or one of his siblings. So very quietly we walked, you know, down, and we've gotten all the way down to the concourse, and Jim told me, you know, that his mom had passed away. So we're both crying, hugging each other. And all of a sudden the entire stadium erupts. There are guys running down the steps, because where the concourse is, where like by the big store, that they have there.
Yeah.
Guys are running, they're ready to do freaking cartwheels. And it was like this, I'll never forget, like when we found out that Kay had passed, but then this surreal, like we're having this moment and everyone else around us, except for maybe some Rams fans, were like of complete, elation. And it was interesting because I was sharing this story with one of the gals, Amy, that I work with. And, because she's really deep when it comes to stuff like this and family. And she said to me, she was like, well, that was Kay's celebration. Like that was like everybody like rejoicing that she had just gone to heaven.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, like, thank you for putting that into that perspective, because it was like so unsettling to like how my husband experienced this and much less me, but
I was going to say, I feel like Kay was like angels in the outfield that just at that moment. She was there,
like
helping the big boy run.
That's right. So, so that was unfortunate. So Jim was back and forth, like literally the past 3 weeks. I think we saw each other like for 2 days over the past 3 weeks.
I know. I'm sorry that we're keeping you from him right now.
No. That's okay. That's okay. But interspersed there, I had a wonderful tailgate with, at that game with Maggie and Connor. Yeah. I did like the Lorri Feckman proud, because I made every single thing that I served and nothing was store bought. So I was pretty damn proud of myself. We did tacos, for street tacos for LA, because we make themed food for the state or city that we're playing against. And then last weekend, got an opportunity to kind of spend some time with Maddie. And we did a little bit of clothes shopping on Saturday, and because her husband went down to Maryland to spend some time with his dad. And then Maddie and I made some bread here at the house on Saturday night. So she taught me how to make bread, because I had never made bread outside of a bread maker.
Right.
So we did it by hand, which was like wild. And we made gluten-free challah bread and some kind of like Parmesan bread.
That sounds delicious.
I froze it because I'm not eating like carbs right now.
Right.
So it's frozen. So I will go and defrost some and bring some, because I did have a little piece with some butter the other day. It was freaking delicious. Then I was like, I need to bag this up and put this away, because it's not like I will eat this loaf. And then I had my family over, this past Sunday.
I saw the pictures. That looked like so much fun.
I needed to have family around, and then Friday night my mom and dad had me over for dinner, and so it's just I think for me with losing my mother-in-law, it just overemphasizes how important it is to have the people that you love around you.
Agreed.
And whether it's, your family, your friends, and life is too short to surround yourself with people that do not bring you joy.
I agree with that 100%.
And so that's kind of like, that's my focus right now, and bringing joy in every aspect of my life, even coming back from Camp Chateau, and them emphasizing like you need to be an advocate for your own joy, and having a great conversation with my boss about like, hey, what would make me happy, right?
Yeah.
In my job, and just what that manifests. So I don't know. I feel like I kind of turned a corner with like between, my experience in France, but then also, with Kay passing and just spending more quality time. Quality time with family and friends.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
It really puts things into perspective.
It does.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Wonderfully. That's like the bittersweet, like
it
we
is.
said with
Yes.
Uncle Dan. Like you absolutely hate to lose somebody, but then if they've battled, in some ways, sometimes it's a little bit of a relief, because that they're free and on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
But your grief is and the loss sucks on this side of things, but then you have all this appreciation for life.
Yeah. No,
it's tough.
You really do. And I tell you what, I loved it that my, and I'm not sure which one of my two sister-in-laws, Katie or Abby, had bought my mother-in-law this, but she had a coffee mug and it said "Tough Mother" on it.
Yeah.
And it just epitomized, my mother-in-law. So
That was probably Kay's obituary is probably one of the most beautiful obituaries I've ever read. I'm not even gonna lie. It was.
She was a special lady. She was a really, really special lady. And,
I mean, it was just so. It was just so eloquently. Written.
Yeah.
Who wrote that?
I don't know if it was a combination of the two girls or if Buddha, we call my father-in-law Buddha, but if Buddha had a hand in it, I don't know. There were certain things where like I was there to lend an ear, but then other things it was just like, I don't want to go and and poke at a conversation and stuff. Cause it was, the girls took a lot of that burden. They stayed at night with Kay and with Ron, my father-in-law at night, and they switched on and off. And, when the boys came, cause there's my husband and then his brother, John, when they came, they helped offset, a little bit, but I love my two sister-in-laws immensely. I talked to both of them and had mentioned to both of them that their mother is a very, very lucky woman for raising such beautiful girls that are taking care of her. Yeah. And as well as their dad. So, Jim went out there for the past couple of days, spending time with his dad and, just making sure that he's in a spot, and they went fishing, and he taught my father-in-law how to play craps, I was like, Jim, I don't know if that was a really good idea or not, but
it's always a good idea.
Yeah.
Why not?
They won some money the other day. They called and were very excited. They both came out on the positive side. So I was like, I think you might have created a monster.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so that's, that's what we got going on, family wise. And we're going to do a service for her in November. So give family and friends the opportunity to be planful for it and to be able to attend.
And I think I read in the obituary also that she's asking for donations for St. Jude's. Yes. I think that's wonderful. Yeah. So that's such a great cause.
No, totally is. Totally
it's
is.
Very worthy.
Well, we greatly appreciate the love that you and Dave, sent us, as we were going through that. So, but next week, what are we talking about next week?
We are interviewing Jeannie Sperling.
Yes.
With the Atlantic City Marathon race director.
Yes. Super exciting.
Yes. Very excited to chat with her.
Especially since we're going to be running the race this coming month.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Which I hate to lengthen this any longer, but your daughter, I'm sorry, Maddie Lee. Maddie Eisenstein.
I know.
Yes, so we have coming up, we are running the Atlantic City Marathon.
Yep.
And then we're running the
following weekend.
We're running the Marine Corps Marathon. And then what the hell happened?
So your daughter, Maggie, let my daughter, Maddie, know that because she ran the Medoc Marathon and she's running Atlantic City, that she could, if she ran another marathon within like a 90-day period of said Medoc, that she could actually qualify for the Marathon Maniacs. Now, Maggie, your daughter, will be able to do that if she finishes Marine Corps and Philadelphia. So those will be her 3 races in the 90 days. But because Maddie did not sign up for Philadelphia, that she doesn't have a 3rd race, to go and run. Yeah. And she can't go and run the Rehoboth Marathon because it would be 92 days. Yeah. Which it's 92 days. It's not 90 days.
Yes.
So my daughter found the Ocean City, Maryland Marathon, which is also in October.
Oh, I thought it was
November. No, it's November. It's the first weekend.
It's the weekend after Marine Corps.
Marine Corps. So she sends us the registration, so our thing is, oops, I did it again, right? And you send the registration out.
I have not registered for that
No, I know that. And so I let that soak for a couple of days.
I told Dave yesterday that I was going to register.
And I was like, Maddie, moms don't let their daughters run marathons alone. So I signed up for that. So we have then Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Then Marine Corps.
Yep.
The following weekend. The following weekend is Ocean City, Maryland.
Yeah.
The following weekend after that is the Rocky Run.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I bought an Italian Stallion jacket for that. And then we have a weekend off, I think, and then we have Philadelphia. And then we have Rehoboth. Dude, that's 6 marathons right there.
Between now
6 runs.
and middle of December. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Only one is not a marathon.
One is not a marathon. So
5
there's
marathons.
5 marathons.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so Maddie Lee, yeah.
And
But thank you for sharing that, Maggie, with Maddie, that she can go and be a marathon maniac. So
yeah. Sorry, I knew we were wrapping up, but
yeah, that's okay.
I just had to
That's
bring that up.
So that's okay. We got a lot more content coming up.
This is what happens when we run. We just start talking about this stuff and we haven't been able to talk about it.
Yep.
So I do believe I'm looking forward to next week.
Yes.
In Atlantic City.
Yes.
We want to thank everybody for listening to us. Please check out our socials, Mile 20 Podcasts, on all your listening platforms, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, I think we're good for today. Now go make Mile 20 your bitch.
Peace out.